Okay, let me show you another example here. This one is an unknown force question. Okay, these are slightly more tricky, but not really too tricky. Okay, so let's suppose that there's 17 newtons of friction on this thing, and it's a 20 kilogram box, and the box is sliding to the left. This is key here. Okay, now if the box is sliding to the left, if it's moving to the left here, okay, that means that the friction force is to the right. So this 17 Newton force always opposes the motion. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little 17 Newton force there. Now, steadfastly, I'm going to make to the right positive. Okay, so that's a positive 17 Newton force. In the other example, we were sliding to the right and friction was to the left. Friction always sort of opposes the direction that something's being dragged along a surface. Okay. It's also accelerating 2.3 meters per second squared, so it's going faster and faster to the left. So the acceleration is 2.3 meters per second squared, but it's this way, right? So it's going to be a negative 2.3 meters per second squared. It's going faster and faster this way, okay? And then there's going to be some unknown force. Well, I know that force is going to be to the left, okay? But I'm just going to pretend, I'm going to be all coy and just be like, which way is the force? And this is what I suggest you do, because not all situations are obvious which way the force is. So I'm going to say unknown force, okay? Now, we set this up, we say F equals ma, and the sum of the forces are, make your unknown force positive, right? And then go plus 17 equals 20 times a, and remember it's accelerating to the left, right? That makes this negative. You got to look at that, right? You got to look, these forces are positive or negative. The acceleration is positive or negative, and it won't work both ways, right? So we got to make that negative 2.3 per second. Oh, I put units on. Now I got to put units on all these, right? Okay, and now we can solve this, right? 20 times negative 2.3 is negative 46 equals, and there we go. Right? And then, of course, I'm going to have to subtract 17, and I get negative 63. Okay? Now, obviously, we knew that was a negative force, but notice how the negative just comes right out in the math. Okay? This, you need to learn to rely on that. You can't try to sit there and psych these things out. The next example will be an example of one where you can't know. Okay? So set it up like that. Write down all the forces, step one, that are acting on it. Decide which way is positive and decide which forces are positive or negative. The acceleration is positive or negative. Set this thing up like this and then just solve.